Hello, everybody. Let's get some messages from your spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Oh, those just popped right out. All right, so we've got mirror. Who or what is triggering you? An inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So I feel like we are going through these. We just had that full moon in Cancer. We have the new moon in Capricorn coming up. And we also have a lot of shifts, and we're kind of in between realms right now. And so I think that we're kind of in this distorted energy of between like past and present, past and future. There's this mirror reflection of what life used to be like. And it's almost like what I'm getting is it fading into a memory. And that could be triggering a lot of like the past. It can be triggering a lot of memories. It can be triggering like your childhood when things were a certain way. But I think that you're always going to carry a special place in your heart for all of these memories, but they're triggering you for a reason. They're triggering you for a reason, and that's to help you ascend. It says awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. So it's like you're integrating the old with the new. Okay. You're ascending out of, all the pain of the past. You've been working on, your healing. And it's almost like now you're helping other people through their awakening. So if there have been a death in the family, because I see that here, right? Somebody could have ascended to heaven, and with that, you're helping other people. The age of light we have here, and it says you've been training for this for lifetimes. So if that is for you to help other people through their healing process, you go from being the student to the teacher. It's like with the being the wounded healer, so to speak. You go from learning the lesson to going out and teaching other people how you got through the lesson. The next card out says trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And that's right underneath the inner temple. There's something niggling inside of you that's telling you it's time to do something. Or, like I said, it could be I almost get a crossed over loved one that's like poking at you, that's like, hey, almost doing a dance, like, do you see me? Do you see me? This is what you're supposed to be doing. Um, I almost get like somebody even here is like when they're standing in the like and looking in the mirror, it's like they get this premonition of, oh my God, I got it. And it's almost like when there's this, it's like a mist. Maybe you've just gotten out of the shower. I see like a fogged over mirror. Okay. So we've got unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. I mean, you can't, you're really ascending right now, and you're untying yourself from past lives. You're untying yourself from everything that has kept you stuck, that has kept you. It's almost sad, as if, they have the power over her. And instead, it's like she takes her power back and goes off on her own. It's time to play, have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious, is what Spirit is saying. Go out and play, like enjoy life. I think that we have been working so hard. I think it's time when they say to go out and play, it's time to go out and use all the tools that you now have in that tool belt from all the experiences and everything that you have learned through this process. This was part of the awakening process. And we have to be, so let me explain this to you. Anytime that we go through an awakening, it's because our soul has gotten tired of trauma, of fuckery, of bullshit, of, sadness, regret, loss, the lower vibrational frequencies, which usually come with being in that third dimensional frequency. And so it brings a lot of chaos with it. Doesn't mean that you don't have that over on the other side when you go through the awakening, but as you go through it, it takes something prompting the awakening. It takes a death in the family. It takes, from somebody that you are so freaking close to, where it really creates a massive impact on your life. It takes you, I mean, it's not like you just losing a job. It could be like your career could have gone down the toilet, and everything that you went through to get that job, and then all of a sudden, like, somebody ruins your reputation, and now you've lost your licensing, and boom, you go through this awakening. So it takes these extremely, but it's not just like one or two, it takes many events until that final one where your soul is like, I can't take it anymore. This fucking hurts. Oh my God. And you like feel like you have now hit rock bottom, and there is no other way than up. It's like you've already been down in the trenches. You've already been, at rock bottom. And now you are ascending to this whole nother level through what you have had to learn. And I feel like you were not alone. Whoever had crossed over was also on each side of you, trying to help you through all of the confusion that you were experiencing as you were going through this ascension process. And now that you have done all this work, it's time for you to play. It's time for you to take everything that you have learned and go out and share it with everyone else. And I feel like, and it's going to be you having this playful spirit, because I think that there was a time where you had that dark night of the soul. And it was because of that dark night of the soul that it got you to where you are now. And I find it funny because when you look at the contrast of all these other cards, the contrast is so light and so vibrant. And then you have these two, which are so dark. And this one being the center of the reading. So it's like you are now coming out of this dark space, and it's from this dark space, out of the darkness comes the light, comes this like inner peace. Don't be so serious, man. I think you've spent enough time being serious and being sad. And I think that you need to, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to have fun while you're doing it. And we have the temple here. It could be, I mean, even under, under a temple, you could be in a plaza somewhere, getting together with people. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. I think a lot of the time we forget that as humans, because we've been taught that, why did they do that to me? Why did God or universe forget me in that way? And it's like, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. There's a reason behind everything that we experience, even though it's like some of these you just can't even. You're like, I don't understand what the hell I'm supposed to be learning from this. And it's like eventually, as the rose blooms, all of a sudden all the petals, you start to be able to see all the petals and the fragrance from the rose, and everything kind of opens up, and you're able to, I got stop and smell the roses. Stop and smell the roses. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing over the threshold. So you're crossing over this threshold. You're crossing into something new and exciting. In the bottom of the deck, we've got the keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors are standing behind you. I'm sorry, beside you. I got behind you because I saw this one as I was reading that. They're standing behind you. They're standing beside you. They're guiding you. They're in all facets of your life. They're hovering over the top of you, even right here. They're over the top of you. Like, you guys, I think that after this new moon, and I'm going to be honest with you, we've got some serious shit getting ready to happen, you guys. Okay. And in 10 days from this new moon that we have here, and it shows up in this reading as well, because our messages from our spirit guides, angels, and ancestors have to do with every facet of every bit of our being, which includes our astrology and our moon cycles and all of those things. Again, it's nature, it's the animals, it's the peoples. We have all of these earth angels right here that go around and they start, telling you, giving you messages from the other side. And, we are coming up on that new moon tomorrow. And I, and then we have that Pluto moving into Aquarius on the 21st. And I feel like this is where we take everything that we have been learning up until this point, and we're going to take it and we're going to move forward with it. It's like we've been in this classroom, waiting to graduate. And now once we have that conjunction in Aquarius on the 21st with Pluto and the sun, it's like a kazemi. It's like boom, bang, bam, done. Your whole fucking past is what's getting you to this point, and you ready or not, here it is. And it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to show what you've been working on the last few years. It was like you were in the lobby. Now you're in the fucking office. Get to work. It's like, show us what you're working with. So like, that's the cave, and you're not alone. You're not tied down to anything. This is your rite of passage. This is what everything has been leading up to until this point. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you, as well as the ancestral wisdom that has gotten you to this point. Is it time for you to travel? For some of you, yes. Is it time for you to move? Some of you, yes. Someone here is going to go see caves. Some of you are going to go see ancient temples. I heard that's on your bucket list. Some of you are going to be going to the pyramids. I see all of these on your bucket list. I see someone here saying, you know what? I want to go let my hair down on the beach somewhere and have a cocktail, a margarita even. For some of you, it's a permanent vacation and you are purchasing yourself a villa. Okay. Or you're going to be staying at a retreat in this villa somewhere. So it's like, and you don't even see it already. It's already formulating around you. You just don't see it yet. It's the fog around you is why you're not supposed to see it, but you are supposed to trust in your inner divine wisdom that this is all working out for this is working out for your next mission. This is what you were sent here to do all along. And I'm going to say it again. We are giving up the lives that we were born living in order to live the lives that we were born to live. And that's what this is all about. This is to get all of you light workers in order. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine earlier today, and it's funny that this is coming up now because I feel like, she's definitely, this will resonate with her. She lost her husband, and I told her a long time ago, I said, but this is what's going to help you find your calling. I'm like, it's through this grief that it's going to awaken you, and Andrew sacrificed himself for the greater good. And Andrew was a good friend of mine. He was everything, and he was definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I told her at that time, I said, listen, sweetie, I said, you're about ready to enter into a new phase. And it's a phase you would have never even expected. And he's going to be guiding you along the way. And sure enough, I find out like that she's now starting this grief practice and, going to help other people who are going through their experience, not just with their own spouse, but with their loved ones. And I see that because we have Pluto moving into Aquarius. There's so many of these communities that are going to be opening up. Like another girlfriend of mine is working on an autism awareness and opening up a home for kids who are autistic because their families are no longer able to take care of them. They're orphaned, or their parents just don't have the resources to help them. And then I have another group who's doing a foster care system because we don't have those on the island, and that's something that is very near and dear to my heart that I even volunteer for. So I feel like We are all kind of being pointed into our humanitarianism. We're all being pointed into our new communities. We are sending out of the old, and we are now moving into this newfound life and experience. And it's not going to be anything like your past experiences. It's what all your past experiences were leaning to, into this entire time. So ready or not, here it comes. And we're only weeks away. And it's not like it's going to flip a switch and all of a sudden, but I'm going to be honest with you, you're already starting to see things coming your way. You're getting those random phone calls, you're getting those random emails. They're not random. You're going to have a lot of different things that are going to be showing up in front of you. And I would say sit back and just watch all of them, because you're not going to be able to take them all. Take what resonates and discard the rest, and know when to say no. And hey, I'll get back to you later. I have all this other stuff I'm working on, but once I can, I would love to work with you. Don't overwhelm yourself in this energy, because there's only going to be so many things that can fit through that small hole right there. Okay. You're only going to be able to take so many things with you. And at the end of the day, you're only going to be able to take somebody else. It's really funny. And I don't know why I'm seeing this. It's almost like she's like floating on cloud nine, right? And I feel like, you're weightless. You finally feel weightless. You finally feel like, I can let my hair down. And it's like, if there was people in the past that weren't behind you before, I feel like those people are going to go out of their way to ascend, to come and find you. Okay. And I got that very strongly. There's going to be people who are seeking you out also. You are going to be sought after. And it's while you are just, floating around, just doing your thing, not even paying attention, and people are going to be seeking you out. It is important that you get back to playing games, playing, I don't mean like video games and shit like that, but like, I even went out and played Simon Says with the foster kids yesterday, and some of our group that we work with. And, it was fun. I haven't played Simon Says. I can't even remember. I barely remember how to do it. I was just like, Simon Says, and we played hide and go seek. And it was like doing all those little kid things again and learning how to laugh like a little kid again. You know what I mean? So playing isn't just sitting around and going to bars and, dancing and, being a barfly. Like, I don't have time for that. It's okay for you to have a glass of wine and a cocktail or whatever once in a while, but I think it's time for us to grow too, because maybe for some of you, maybe the alcohol has brought in a lot of confusion, and it's time for you to say sayonara to that way of playing. It's time for you to, get serious about your life. And it's time for you, again, to ascend out of that, especially if it's brought you to a place of darkness and sadness and feeling alone because of our addictions. And it might not even be just alcohol addiction. It could be a drug addiction. It's just anything that we do a lot of that creates an issue. Gambling, sex, porn. Those are all addictions. Shopping, Amazon Prime, and all of you with Temu now. I see you. Be careful of that, okay? Because there's so many things that are happening right here. I feel like this is an extremely powerful reading, and I feel like you are not alone, and you are receiving your guidance and wisdom from your ancient ancestry, and your crossed over loved ones who were very wise beyond their years. I'm going to leave that here, you guys. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Trust that niggle inside. What is it telling you? Trust it, because whatever it is, I feel like it's about ready to take you somewhere that you could have never possibly imagined. reach out to that person, get back in touch with those individuals if that's what you got to do. If you feel like you left something behind. Um, wow, guys, I'm getting a little bit choked up. I love this message. I'm going to leave that here. I love you guys all so much. Like, share, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram under The Footsteps to Peace. I am now on X under Peace Unhinged Tarot. And I'm also on Rumble. You might want to follow me over there too, just in case. And because if I do end up disappearing, you'll be noticing that I'm making all my points elsewhere. So got to cover all your bases. Anyway, love you guys all so much. Take care.